Everybody has had a chance to review the packet and what the hearings for tonight, so look for a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to open.
Motion by Travis,
Second.
second by Dennis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried, agenda is approved. Same way, hopefully everybody has had a chance to review the minutes from March. I didn't see anything that looked out of place. Okay, look for a motion to approve the minutes from, motion by Dennis,
Second.
seconded by Travis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Okay. So on to public hearings. Blake Carlson is requesting a variance. The applicant is seeking approval of a variance to the ordinary high water level setback for a septic system at 9502 90th Street South, Sabin, Minnesota, 96580, parcel ID 06.050.0101 on Lot 1, Block 1 of Drussel Subdivision, Section 22, Township 138 North, Range 47 West, Elmwood Township. Look for a motion to open the public hearing.
Make a motion to open. Second.
Motion by Travis, seconded by Dennis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is open. Take it away, Matt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, this is a request to reduce the setback to the ordinary high water level for a septic system. This property is located just southeast of Sabin. It's zoned Ag General, Shoreland, Special Protection, Rivers and Streams, and then some general floodplain in the upper right corner there of the property. It's a single-family dwelling with a existing system and private well and detached garage. So they're looking for a setback. The setback is 150 feet from Stony Creek. They are looking to replace their existing system. The existing system would be abandoned. There'd be a new tank near the old tank location, and then also a drain field on the kind of the south side of the house. And the reasoning is they're replacing this failing non-conforming system that serves the existing dwelling. They're avoiding greater encroachment for the stream and avoiding relocation of all the other improvements on the site. So here's kind of where the tank is right now, and then the existing drain field, and looking at putting a little larger tank in and a lift station, and then relocating the drain field to the south of the property. So it would be much further away from Stony Creek right now. The other tank would be in a similar location. The practical difficulty provided by the applicant is with the available land and current house placement, well location, creek location, limited in space, we were able to put the new septic tank and drain field, just asking that the new tank be placed where the old tank is. And due to the size requirements of the tank, it'll be 8 to 10 feet closer to where the existing tank is. We did not receive any township comments or public comments. We did get a recommendation from, or Environmental Health does support this variance. They just recommend that that this tank gets turned. So instead of being perpendicular to the house, it would run parallel to the house. So essentially it would be a little even further away from the stream. So for the tank, looking at a 75-foot reduction to the setback. For the drain field, it would be a 15-foot reduction. And then there is a 50-foot minimum private well separation. It looks like it could meet that. How this request relates to the goals and objectives of the comprehensive plan. We have a goal to protect and enhance the health and vitality of Clay County surface waters, including lakes, rivers, and streams. And this variance request would actually improve the septic system relative to the shoreland or the stream in this case. So you have a couple options here. You can approve based on findings, deny, based on findings, or continue if you decide you need more information. Any questions for me at all?
How old is the old drain field? One that's shot.
Old, I think, yeah. But I don't know, let's see if, I think Kent and Olivia might be on from Environmental Health. No, if, yep. Any other questions for me at all? They don't have records, so it's old.
Okay.
Yep. Go back up to here.
No. It looks like, you know, all the ducks are in a row, and it does improve the, you know, the overall situation. I think turning it parallel instead of perpendicular is, you know, okay. I mean, really doesn't matter which direction. As far as operation, it just, but it does get it further away from the.
Yeah, and Mr. Chair, I think the idea too of turning it parallel would be to reduce the amount of, just because there's going to be a lift station as well, and the drain field's pretty far away.
Less obstructions.
Yep,
Or
just make it easier to pump into the drain field.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Matt? If not, would the applicant care to speak to their project? And please come to the podium and state your name for the record.
I'm Blake Carson. I recently bought that house. For your guys' question about the septic, it is original. It's a 1977 septic. And then I guess I didn't have any really else to say. The well is on the front side of the house. There's kind of a block dot for it. That easily meets the 50. I think it's actually 54 feet. And then, yeah, the rest of the measurements seem to be good. I mean, that's our plan. We can definitely turn the tanks sideways or parallel. That was our original plan, so we reduced trying to go around the house with the pump. But yeah, that's all I had.
It seems logical.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak for or against, or anything to add to this project? Is there anyone in the audience or online that wishes to speak for or against? Again, is there anyone in the audience or online that wishes to speak for or against this project? Hearing none, look for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Dennis,
second.
seconded by Travis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Public hearing is closed. Okay, now we will go through the findings of fact for this. And there is additional things that we need to do. One additional thing because of the ordinary high water level mark, but you know, again, reading the reports and then rereading them again, you know, this afternoon, this is far better than the existing.
Currently is.
It's improving it according to what they can do with that lot.
And it'll be, yeah. Okay. Is granting the variance in harmony with the general purposes and intent of the Clay County Land Development Code?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. Is the requested variance consistent with the Clay County Comprehensive Land Use Plan?
Yes.
Does the applicant establish that there are practical difficulties in complying with the strict letter of the Clay County Land Development Code by demonstrating the applicant proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner not permitted by an official control?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the lot is the lot. And we'll go right to B. Exceptional or extraordinary circumstances apply to the property that do not apply generally to other properties in the same district or vicinity, and which result from lot size or shape, topography, or other circumstances over which a landowner has no control or influence.
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing else there.
Gonna have a new hump in the backyard.
Well, front yard,
Front yard, yeah.
front and west.
South.
But yeah, if make it through the first winter, everybody does. Seems like everybody freezes it up the first winter. Granting the variance will not alter the essential character of the property's locality.
Yes.
Practical difficulties, as used in connection with the granting of a variance, mean the property owner proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner not permitted by an official control. The plight of the landowner is due to circumstances unique to the property, not created by the landowner, and the variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the locality. Economic considerations alone do not constitute practical difficulties. Variance shall be granted for earth-sheltered construction as defined in section 216.06, subdivision 14, when in harmony with official controls.
Yes.
That's a definite yes. Would the would the literal interpretation of the provisions of the Clay County Land Development Code deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the terms of this ordinance?
Yes.
Is the variance being granted the minimum variance that would alleviate the practical difficulty?
Yes.
Okay, ordinary. Does the variance request meet all below criteria? No variance shall be granted where any of the following conditions are not met. Adequate sewage treatment systems or water supply capabilities can be provided.
Yes.
The plight of the landowner or the hardship is not due to circumstances created by the landowner.
Yes.
The variance would not allow a use that is not already allowed in the zoning district.
Yes.
There would not be a significant adverse effect on public health or safety.
Yes.
I think this improves.
And then, Mr. Chair, the shoreland is way down here. It's on your screen up there.
Okay, is there a conforming sewage treatment system present for the intended use of the property? The variance, as issued, must require reconstruction of a non-conforming sewage treatment system. Yes? There
It's kind of the whole point.
definitely is one
Yes.
built in 1977 that isn't up to code,
Yeah.
and what they're proposing would. So,
Yes.
yeah, that's a very, very definite yes. So there are, six conditions that staff has written for everybody to, consider. Number one, prior to construction, the applicant must obtain all required Clay County environmental health permits and approvals for the replacement sewage treatment system. The replacement system must be installed substantially consistent with the submitted site plan or a revised plan, which is approved by the Clay County Environmental Health and Planning and Zoning that provides equal or greater protection of the adjacent stream. No sewage treatment component may be placed closer to the ordinary high water level than necessary to satisfy SSTS design requirements and the approved plan. The applicant must verify and maintain all required separation distances from the private well, structures, property lines, and other applicable features, unless separately approved by the appropriate authority. And the applicant did state that his well was, I mean, it's only 4 feet, but it is 4 feet. Any disturbed areas must be stabilized after construction to prevent erosion or sediment movement toward the stream. If any portion of the work is located in a regulated floodplain, the applicant must obtain all required floodplain approval before construction. So I have a question, but wondering if anybody else has anything to add. So does anything by the state or the county required to happen with the 1977 drain field, or because it's inoperable, it's just leave
think it gets,
the best thing?
I think it gets marked as
It
abandoned.
would be abandoned, yep,
Yeah,
yep, and then rendered so it wouldn't be able to be hooked, couldn't be able to connect to the drain field again, yep. But otherwise, it would just remain in place,
I mean, odds are it's full and plugged and,
yep, it would be, yeah, yep,
okay, so that makes sense to me. Instead of digging it up and having exposed dirt, it's all covered with sod.
yep,
but I believe that once you get a new one put in and you get Kent to sign off on all the stuff, then there's documentation of the old one, you know, so
yep, that it's
then-
abandoned,
yeah.
yep,
And if that doesn't exist, then process has to happen.
yep.
Okay, because that, you know, I'm familiar with well sealing and abandonment, so this is a new one for me, so I had to ask. Okay, well, this is one of those situations where if we have a single no, we have to deny the application. We did not have any no's. But I guess we are now at the point where I look for a motion to deny or to approve with the.
With the conditions listed.
Okay, motion by Dennis to approve with conditions 1 through 6,
I'll second.
seconded by Travis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Variance is granted.
I wasn't lucky enough to get a frozen one, but I got a bobber. My first spring was a bobber, and mine's 4 years old. Right out of the ground.
Oof. Okay, that was Blake. Now let's go to. Okay, our next request for a public hearing is Bruce and Lucy Raymond, request for a variance. The applicant is seeking approval for an after-the-fact variance to the ordinary high water level setback for a structure at 7753 70th Street North, Glendon, Minnesota, on parcel ID 20.007.1701 in the southeast quarter of the northeast quarter of Section 7, Township 145 North, Range 47 West, Mullen Township. Look for a motion to open the public hearing.
Go ahead and,
Motion by Travis,
Second.
seconded by Dennis. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Public hearing is open. Let her rip, Matt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, this is a variance request to reduce the setback to the ordinary high water level for an existing shed. Property is just off of 70th Street North, or County 11, north of Dilworth. Lots of zoning on the property: agricultural general, shoreland, special protection, rivers and streams, floodplain fringe, floodway, and resource protection, wellhead protection. It's a single-family residential property. The request is to allow an existing accessory shed to remain about 120.7 feet from the ordinary high water level of the Buffalo River instead of the 150-foot setback. It would allow it to remain in place for residential storage while avoiding the front portion of the property where well, septic, sewer, underground utilities, and maintenance accesses are located. So you can kind of see here where the shed is. There's the house, garage, shed, river. There's a pretty steep drop off right here as well. Yeah, that's essentially kind of the layout there. This would be a pergola. This is like a deck pergola. In the code, I should say that you can have in a shoreland area, you can have what's called a water-oriented accessory structure. And that's a structure that could be within that 150-foot setback, can be no closer than 10 feet from the ordinary high water level. In this case, but you can only have one. So in this case, that this pergola and deck would count as that. The applicant provided the following practical difficulty: that there's pre-existing critical infrastructure. The front portion of the property is where all the utility infrastructure is, the well, septic, and sewer, as well as just access to the property. Just due to the property itself and physical constraints, the layout of the home, location of the utilities, the rear of the property toward the river is the only area where they could put the storage. And then community aesthetics and character. Placing utility shed in front of the yard would be highly visible from the right-of-way, and then in the neighborhood as well. And its positioning in the rear of the lot allows for screening there. So we're really looking for a 29.3 foot reduction. The shed is partially, if you look at the mapped floodway, it's partially in that, but we did check the elevation of it, and the elevation is higher than what the regulatory floodway elevation is. And if you were to look, the floodway roughly follows this wetland. And I just don't believe that the floodway delineated here is accurate. And just based on the elevations and then the topography as well. Did not receive any public or township comments. Again, just like with the last variance, you have three options. You can approve with positive findings, deny if there's one or more findings that can't be made, or continue if you need more information. This request relative to our comprehensive plan, again, same plan goal as the last hearing, would be to protect and enhance the health and vitality of Clay County surface waters, including lakes, rivers, and streams. This variance would relate to this goal because it involves setback reduction. Approval with conditions can remain consistent because this is limited to an existing location, does not authorize any expansion, additional encroachment, would require continued compliance with additional shoreline standards as well. So, any questions for me?
How long ago was the building built?
Just looking at aerial imagery, it was probably 2020, 2021, but the applicant can confirm that. So 6-ish years.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments or questions for Matt?
Was there a building permit?
No, but a variance would allow for the applicant to receive a building permit.
How big is the structure?
I'm not entirely sure. It's not large. It's like your standard garden
10
shed.
by 10 or something?
Yeah. Again, can have the applicant confirm. I don't know if it would meet our, because now we have exemption requirements, but those for permits, but those exemption requirements don't apply to shoreland or floodplain, just because there's different regulations.
Was the shed built, or was it one of the ones made and moved in?
It looks like it could have been built, but I think it was moved on. I'll have the applicant confirm that.
See it on here, 130 square feet,
Yeah, there you go.
so a little bigger than 10 by 10.
Yep. It would be exempt then if it was not in the floodplain or shoreland. Yep.
It wouldn't require a permit.
Yep.
Okay, would the applicant care to come up and speak to the request? If so, please come to the podium and state your name.
My name is Bruce Raymond. This is my wife Lucy. I guess we use the shed mainly to keep wood dry for the fireplace, and we also keep grandkids' toys in there, bikes and all this other stuff. They do a lot of playing in the backyard, so I guess we just use it for that type of storage.
Okay, and was it built on, did you build it or move it in?
I built it. It's a Menards Aero shed, which I would actually like to improve it sometime and make it look nicer than just an Aero shed, you know, like it's just your, but if that's not possible, then that's not possible either, but
So what was built first, the shed or the structure with the patio closer to the river?
the shed,
And the whole thing basically is you could have one but not two without asking forgiveness or permission? Is there electricity or any utilities?
no.
Is it on a foundation?
It's on like a raised gravel bed. About 16-inch high gravel bed.
Okay, so woodshed and grandkids' stuff, so
Yeah, it's about,
that takes care of the questions that I had, and he's looking, it's about 20 feet, you said, 22 feet? 29. 20, okay, 30 feet, okay. Anyone else have any questions for Mr. Raymond? Thank you. Anybody in the audience or online that wishes to speak for or against? Anyone else in the audience or online wish to speak for or against? Anyone in the audience or online wishes to speak for or against? Hearing none, look for a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close?
Motion by Travis,
Second.
seconded by Dennis to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Public hearing is closed. Okay, findings of fact for Bruce and Lucy Raymond, and this is another ordinary high water level setback. Is granting the variance in harmony with the general purposes and intent of the Land Development Code?
Yes.
Is the requested variance consistent with the Clay County Comprehensive Land Use Plan?
Yes.
Does the applicant establish that there are practical difficulties in complying with the strict letter of the Clay County Land Development Code by demonstrating that the applicant proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner not permitted by an official control?
Yes.
Exceptional or extraordinary circumstances apply to the property that do not apply generally to other properties in the same district or vicinity, and which result from lot size, shape, topography, or other circumstances over which the landowner has no control or influence.
Yes.
And topography is the big thing there for me, because it's, yeah. Granting the variance will not alter the essential character of the property's locality.
Yes.
Practical difficulties is used in connection with the granting of a variance, mean the property owner proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner not permitted by an official control. The plight of the landowner is due to circumstances unique to the property, not created by the landowner, and the variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the locality. Economic considerations alone do not constitute practical difficulties. Variance shall be granted for earth shelter construction as defined in section 2163.06 subdivision 14, when in harmony with other official controls. Would the literal interpretation of the provisions of the Clay County Land Development Code deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the terms of this ordinance?
Yes.
Is the variance being granted the minimum variance that would alleviate the practical difficulty?
Yes.
Does the variance request meet all the below criteria? No variances shall be granted where any of the following conditions are not met. Adequate sewage systems or water supply capabilities can be provided.
Yes.
There's no utilities there. The plight of the landowner or hardship is not due to circumstances created by the landowner. The variance would not allow a use that is not already allowed in the zoning district.
Yes.
There would not be a significant adverse effect on public health or safety. After the fact variances. The Board of Adjustment may use the following standards with consideration to after the fact variances. Whether construction was completed. Okay, now I've got it. I had to keep going back.
Wait, yeah.
Is there a conforming sewage treatment system present for the intended use of the property? The variance, as issued, must require reconstruction of a non-conforming sewage treatment system. And I would say that this is an NA, because
Well, it's a requirement, so, Mr. Chair, I'll just say, if you're seeking a variance, a building permit in a shoreland area, you, as part of that, have to have a septic compliance inspection. Unless, you're within the window of where a new system was installed, or, you've had a previous inspection, 5 years, yep. So.
okay, so
So it would be required, so the applicant will have to, Mr. Raymond will have to get a building permit for the shed. Part of that, he'll have to have a septic compliance inspection, so you could put that as a condition on the variance. This is essentially why this question is part of the findings for variances in shoreland is that requirement.
There's all the questions and then it goes whoop, over here and you gotta answer that.
Yep, and the whole intent and goal of it is, it's in the state shoreland rules, and the purpose of it is to ensure that septic systems are upgraded when they're located within shoreland areas to protect those resources. It's more, I would say, more applicable on lakes, especially when you have a lot of lake lots that were developed, or lakes that were developed in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and their septic systems are really close to the lake and they're really, really old. That's, I think, kind of the main intent, but it just applies to any shoreland area. So it could just essentially be a condition of the variance.
Essentially, if you were getting a building permit, if this building was structured bigger than 200 square feet, you'd have to get a permit anyways, and this would be a requirement of that. And since we're doing it after the fact, we approve it, then they have to go through that process essentially after the fact.
Yes, yep.
If that makes sense.
not really, we're talking about a woodshed.
Well,
But
right,
it is the code, so
right.
Yeah.
So it's,
I get it.
If it's
And even though he's, you know, he's below the square footage, it's an after the fact.
and it has,
Well-
and it has nothing to do with the shed, it's the principle to it.
And Mr. Chair, I'll just say that because it's shoreland property, there aren't any square footage exemptions in shoreland. Yep. So a building permit would be required regardless of the size.
If you wanted that shed in your backyard because of the size, it's okay. but because of the water, it brings new things to it.
Yep,
Okay,
yep. Yeah, it's one of those that,
okay, so we,
even if it's not related to, like, the structure itself doesn't have any water to it, it's, it's the property, yep, and its location to the river.
In hindsight, if you want to take it into consideration, if this may have been on the last one, you know, like having the septic checked before doing anything, you know, maybe there could have been something. So imagine the next person that may want to purchase the property inside of a certain window, they don't have to hire someone to come and do it because they've already had it inspected. Because it's inspected for a window.
Yep.
Right?
And at a point of sale too, so,
Okay.
like, for the last variance hearing, that septic upgrade is required because of.
It was caught during.
Caught during an inspection, yep.
okay, so, the answer to that is yes, and that is condition number 2. So, the applicant must apply or must have a septic system
Inspection,
inspection.
yep.
And if it's doesn't pass, he needs to put in a new septic system.
Or remove the shed,
Well, you
whichever is cheaper,
may have to put a septic, if it doesn't pass, you're gonna have to get one anyway.
yeah, likely.
And if you get a building permit, you can get rid of the metal shed and put in a nice one if you wanted to.
Yeah, there you go.
And then it, yeah.
You could build what you wanted.
Covered.
Yep, everything looks nice and
Correct, yep.
okay, so staff and, this is unlike planning and zoning where you have to ask the applicant if they, understand everything, so, what do you guys think on, say, looking right at the point now where staff has the 2 conditions, looking for a motion to approve or deny.
I'll make a motion to
variance.
approve on conditions 1 and 2.
Okay, Travis has made a motion to approve, pending or following conditions 1 through 2.
Second,
Seconded by Dennis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Variance is granted. On to our next public hearing. We have Todd Fuller requesting for a variance. The applicant is seeking approval of an after-the-fact variance to the minimum lot width at the building setback in the shoreland district for an existing structure on parcel ID 18.025.3000 in the southeast quarter of the northwest quarter, section 25, township 141N, range 48W, Cragness Township. Look for a motion to open the public hearing.
so moved.
Motion by Dennis,
Second.
seconded by Travis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Public hearing is open. Take it away, Matt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, this is a variance request to reduce the minimum lot width at the building setback line, located just north of town in Cragness Township. The base zoning on this property is agricultural general. There is some floodplain fringe, floodway, shoreland special protection rivers and streams. It's a 62.2 acre property, seasonal recreation, and then commercial for the use. There's a 250-foot minimum lot width at the building setback line, minimum standard in the Clay County Code. This also comes from, this is the minimum for the state shoreland rules as well. The current width is 229.35 feet, and the building is set back well over the 150-foot setback from the Buffalo River. Practical difficulty that was provided by the applicant was the property subdivision was approved by Clay County as is with a concrete slab for building in place. I purchased the property as is and was told that it was buildable by owner and realtor. The lot shape, proximity of lot to river, and the floodplain make building elsewhere difficult, if not impossible. You can see here that this is quite the lot. It's like a snake almost. Essentially follows the riparian area and leaves out the tillable. Again, the property here is meets that, it well exceeds the setback to the river. Some considerations: this parcel was approved, split was approved as hunting land. The concrete slab was completed in 2019. It was not permitted. The previous owner was informed by the planning office that any development on that slab would require a building permit. The building does meet the regulatory flood protection elevation. It is in the floodplain fringe, so it does meet that. That was confirmed. The slab elevation was confirmed by a licensed surveyor. There is a holding tank on the connected to the building that was not permitted. This may not be compliant with structure setbacks and floodplain standards. That holding tank would have to be 10 feet from the structure. Would also have to be 10 feet from the property line. And then there would also have to be some additional work done to it to ensure that it is compliant with floodplain standards. I don't know where the well is on the property, so I'll have to defer to the applicant on that. There is a minimum setback of 50 feet. So that's roughly where that holding tank location is. From our comprehensive plan, same goal as the previous two hearings, to protect and enhance the health and vitality of Clay County surface waters, including lakes, rivers, and streams for the benefit and enjoyment of Clay County residents and visitors. And again, this variance request would generally be consistent with this goal, only if the existing structure and holding tank are brought into full compliance. The lot width reduction is limited to the existing building location. It doesn't authorize any expansion or additional disturbance, but the holding tank has not been inspected, so continued review would be appropriate just to ensure that it meets all those standards. So here you have some options again to approve if you make positive findings. You could go through the findings of fact and deny if one of the more findings cannot be made. You could, if you want to give the applicant the chance to have the septic tank, holding tank inspected, could continue the hearing in July and then have that information. I just don't know how you would be able to make positive findings of fact on this without that information.
That's what I have in my notes.
So really, just based on that, really the two options are 2 or 3. Any questions for me at all?
So hard because those other two items could be so far off that it could change so many.
It could potentially require additional variances for the septic
Well, let's see where the well is.
or where the well is. Yep. So
Okay,
Was there a permit to put the building up?
no,
No permits at all?
no.
so everything has been done wasn't all the current owner, but.
No.
But some of it was. Okay, hearing nothing further from the board, would the applicant care to come up to the podium and state your name and your case?
Yep, my name is Todd Fuller. The well is, if you zoom out,
Oh, zoom out? I'd have to go to a map here. That's a good sign, though. You have to zoom out.
Kind of looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. That's a long ways to drive a cement truck in the boonies.
too far north.
The well was,
I think I'm too far north.
Want to type in the parcel? I'll read it to you.
Yeah, please do.
18.025.3 thousand.
Close. Okay.
down, so head north, down the road.
This way?
Yep. Right, it's like right at that corner there.
Right in here? Like right here?
Yep, I believe so.
Oh, wow.
So it'll meet that 50 feet.
It's a lot of wire.
Yep.
So that was there. And you might be familiar with the property. I know, I'm talking with Rita, she was very familiar with the property. It was Chad Oberg's property. It was auctioned off, and I was bidding on it at the time. Kirk Watt is a local farmer, and he's a friend of mine, and we didn't know it. We were bidding against each other on it. And he was bidding on both because it shares the same drain tile with the property to the north. The slab was there, the electricity was all put in, everything was there. Kirk bought it and owned the infrastructure, and obviously that 150 acre piece. I live to the south of the across the river. You can keep going. My place is yes, right there to the south. So I was bidding on that. Kirk ended up getting it. I purchased, we had it all surveyed, and he was gonna sell the building site. So Chad was gonna, at the time, gonna put in this house and do a bunch of stuff, and hence all the infrastructure that was getting put in. Kirk actually had it listed with a realtor, at the time when I talked to him and said, hey, would you be willing to sell? Because we knew each other, and he said, yeah. And so it was full on listed with the realtor, the slab and the 1 acre piece, and selling it as a building site. So that's what I purchased. Now, not saying that looking at the whole big picture here, that the building permit, I mean, I did everything myself, like, but put the structure up and the septic and everything. So I'm not saying like I follow proper protocol here, but the frustrating part for me is I spent a lot of money to buy something. You have a realtor, you have somebody that supposedly did their due diligence that you would hope, and then come to find out, you say, well, no, this doesn't work. So as far as the setbacks and everything, what I'm purchasing at the time, so. Laws are laws, rules are rules. I completely understand that, but I hope at least you can kind of see where I'm coming from here. Not saying that I did everything by the book, because I didn't, of course. But now where we go from here, I'm open, but at least hopefully you understand where my frustration lies when you have somebody that's using a licensed realtor to sell something.
So how far away from the building and the property line is your holding tank?
I believe, so Larry Wold was a licensed septic guy, put it in. And so, now, again, I believe it's compliant with to the building. And I obviously have no issue getting that, paying for that, to have somebody come out, inspect it, do all the proper steps to get that approved, that's, I think from what I understand, Matt, the biggest thing is the property line, or the width of the property is off by 20 feet to be able to apply for a building permit. Is that?
So, can I answer his question, Mr. Chair? Yeah, so that's the standard that is deficient, would be that width. But you need to, because you're in a shoreland, and even regardless if you're in a shoreland or not, because it has a septic component, you need to be compliant with the septic. The septic needs to have a permit. It needs to meet the standards for both just a septic system, holding tank, and then additionally, because it's in a floodplain, there are additional standards to meet, the FEMA requirements for that septic.
Are you sure, are we sure that it's in the floodplain?
Yes, it is 100% in the floodplain.
Is there any, okay, so you said you hired a licensed contractor to do it. He did it without any building permit or following any,
Larry Waldput.
It's Larry.
I've got no idea who that guy is, so.
Yeah, the orange here is the mapped floodplain, regulatory floodplain.
Maybe indicate why there was a holding tank, but holding tanks are so rare. They're just not common.
With just a holding tank and no drain field, yeah. And you wouldn't have space for a drain field here anyway.
Did you look at that when you were out there? Matt?
I did, but I'm not a licensed sanitarian, so I can't speak to the septic at all.
To see if it was indeed holding tanks versus a drain field?
That, again, I would have to, it just looked like a holding tank to me.
There's two of them there.
But again, I'm gonna defer to the chair for questions.
Yeah, okay, so we're hearing, the story's changing a little bit, so, I understand if you can't have a drain field, a holding tank would be an acceptable thing, but it would all have to be inspected and approved, and now you're saying there's two, and you had a licensed person who I've never heard of, but other people haven't or smiling.
Well, Larry's just a guy that's well known in Clay County for doing septic systems, and he did mine, and he did pretty much everybody else's in the area. So it seemed to get a pretty good idea of the guy, but Kent is the one that has to tell you what you can and can't do.
Yes, correct.
No ifs, ands, or buts. And so once he approves your design that Larry does, then Larry does his job. He doesn't care whether you have a permit or not, because that's not his responsibility.
So he never went through Kent at all, though?
That's correct. Kent has to come out, he has to see the site, he has to approve the plans, and then give you the green light, then you can hire your contractor.
Okay, I'm inclined to go back to, 10, 15 minutes ago and go to option 3 and have some inspections done and table this.
I think there's a whole gamut of things that have to happen. We're doing, approving the variance of the structure, but no building permit, no septic there's a lot of steps here to make this compliant.
Yeah, and Mr. Chair, none of that can happen without approved variance. So, well,
Can we ask if this is a buildable site?
I mean, really right now, the only issue in terms of the lot dimensions is that lot width. And you can see maybe the reason why is because the whole point of having that lot width, minimum lot width, is to ensure that you have the space for your utilities that you need. And in this case, it's pretty tight. So say if this is continued and environmental health goes and inspects it and if everything's compliant, great, then I'd say then we can move forward with the variance. If not, then some additional things would need to happen. And then my recommendation would be to deny the variance, because you'd have to if it cannot be made compliant, the septic. It's very possible that it could be. I mean, and then the floodplain improvements to the septic that would have to be made, I think, are very doable too. It's not like, I don't believe you're gonna have to be ripping the system out and completely replacing it.
Just have to make it compliant.
Yep. For the floodplain.
So instead of putting conditions after the yes or no, we can put conditions on the before and continue it?
Well, I think you wouldn't necessarily be putting conditions on it. I think you'd be saying if Mr. Fuller wants his variance to be decided on, he needs to
Have those
have
looked
this
at,
inspection.
and then we can make a decision.
Yes.
And we dealt with something with this, with a similar environmental concern. And it, ultimately did not happen, and the environmental concern was one of the reasons. So, thank you.
Could he keep the building if he eliminated the sewer system and not have water there?
Could, but I don't know, having been inside it, it's a pretty nice building to not have any water or sewer in it.
Storage or a house?
It's kind of both, yeah, there's like a kitchen and a, living area and things like that, so, yep.
Did you have anything further, Mr. Fuller?
So, just so I'm hearing this right, we get a hold of the inspector on the septic, first and foremost, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? If we get that, and he says, okay, we're compliant. If I go purchase 1 acre from Kirk, then there's no issues on that.
I'm not gonna commit to a yes or a no on that before we have the first step done.
So-
You need to talk to Kent.
Yeah, and so, Mr. Chair, what I would say is if Mr. Fuller was able to acquire more property from Kirk to make this 229 feet, 250 feet, then he wouldn't need a variance at all. He'd still need to have a compliant septic system.
Yes.
And he'd still need a building permit.
You have no idea where the septic system or the drain field is gonna go, or where it would be set up as, so if you make it longer this way, maybe that's not where it's gonna be. It's gonna be over here instead of over there.
It's right here, so it could go, yeah.
Could, I mean, it could wrap around or whatever, but.
And it is very likely that, yes, if you bought more land, that you would be okay, but, regardless with this being an after the fact, you will have to have the septic.
Totally agree and totally fine with that. How long does it usually take when they come out to get an answer back?
I can't answer that.
Okay.
I mean,
I would say per week, fast. It'd be fast.
yeah.
Yep.
So get them out there right away and get it.
Yeah, I would be on the phone tomorrow morning.
And I don't know if Olivia has any comments. I see Olivia's on, so. Hate to put you on the spot, Olivia.
No, you don't.
Well, either Olivia or Kent would be coming out.
Okay,
And I know that Kent has reached out to you and provided you with the application.
Email me up.
Yep.
Yep.
So you'd have to fill that out, and then that
I
would
have it
start that process.
here we have.
There it is. Once this application is in, we'll get out there ASAP, and you'll have results within a few days.
Okay. That's,
Table this till
in
next
writing.
Need
Yes,
it.
that's what I would, thank you for starting the process and, but we can't solve this one tonight.
So be looking for basically a motion to table to the next meeting.
There.
So we would need that motion from the board.
I'll make the motion to table this till next month.
Okay, motion by Dennis,
Second,
seconded by Travis. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. This hearing is tabled. Well, we'll continue this in July. Pending
July 21st,
Fuller
yep.
Getting his ducks in a row. And what did you say, sir?
It was July 21st, it would be our, yep,
That's when your next meeting?
yep.
Okay. Same time?
Same time, same place.
We aren't in the same spots, but
Yeah,
Lots of things going on that week.
Thank you.
thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, moving forward, any unfinished business, Mr. Jacobson?
No, Mr. Chair.
New business?
None, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you for, you and everybody for bringing these things forward tonight, and yeah, this last one needed to be held off, so that's,
Gotta have a feeling though that there's a lot more building permit stuff and all, I mean, there's a big uphill battle to this.
Not necessarily.
No?
There's there's steps that have to be taken, but they're not insurmountable, so,
You can buy
Yep.
an acre or two and
yep.
because if
Anyone
he
need a
goes
variance?
laterally, then he, you know, is gonna maintain his distance from,
still would be in
That
the
is
high
a-
water.
Still a
but-
little mind-boggling to build all of that in the infrastructure without a permit. It's not that expensive.
No, it's not.
yeah, it's
But
a bit of an
why we're here.
asking for forgiveness, yeah. Okay, hearing nothing further, look for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to close?
Second?
Motion by Travis, seconded by Dennis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. We are back, for sure now, we are meeting in July.